And good afternoon and welcome to Menomonee Falls High School. We're at Ben Franklin Field here. John Feltman along with Troy Sparks. We're at the top of the first inning here. Germantown versus Menomonee Falls. There's 2 outs. And here's the batter right now is Carly Skada. She is the 3rd hitter, one of the outfielders for Germantown. Germantown comes into the game 3-1 in their conference, 3-2 overall. One of the top 10 ranked teams in the state. So this should be a dandy today for Menomonee Falls. A lot of these girls know each other as well from summer softball. So as we go out through the games here, we can mention some of the teammates that play together on these summer teams together. And same with the coaching staff as well. They know each other very well. This ought to be a good game. There's a fly ball to left field up in the sun. Left fielder coming on, makes the play, and that will be the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 1/2 complete, it's Germantown nothing, and the Falls will be coming to bat. Falls comes into this game with a 4-0 record in conference, 8-2 overall. There's a 3-way tie for first place right now between Divine Savior Holy Angels, Menomonee Falls, and Brookfield Central. And joining me today, doing our color today, is Troy Sparks. And Troy, pleasure to work with you today.
Yeah, it's a great day for softball. Mother Nature threw a curveball in there a little bit, but it's clear enough to play. And we're going to try to get this game in if we can.
About half hour, 45 minutes ago, we had a storm go through, a pretty good one that went through. It cleared out. There was some rumbles of thunder in the distance. Right now we've got a window, and hopefully we're going to be able to get this game in. The umpires are going to try to keep this game moving so that we can get an official game in here. Pitching for Germantown today is Megan Call, a senior. I believe that she's their number 2 pitcher for Germantown today, a lefty. And they're deep. This is a deep senior team for Germantown. The Warhawks come into this game with a very senior-laden roster and a lot of experience coming back from 3 straight trips to the state tournament.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the Falls have a young team, and so it's going to be tough, especially in the Greater Metro Conference. They have THROWBACK coming up, Brookfield Central this week also.
It's a brutal week. You could not, you really are going to know where you stand. This is a tough game tomorrow at home against Brookfield Central. Thursday at home against TSHA. Then you throw West Alice Hale in at Friday. They're in the middle of the conference. And then Greenfield, one of the top 5 teams in the state with probably and arguably the best pitcher in the state on their roster. So here we go. We're about to start here in the second half of the first inning. Lou Shorentino, the sophomore. And again, we talked about a young team for the Falls. 6 sophomores on this team, 3 seniors and 4 juniors. And they are learning. And after Friday's game, they had a little extra batting practice they had to take. They didn't hit very well on Friday. Coach Lou had them working. All right, so we got Lou Shorentino to bat here. And the first pitch, ground ball the second. Williams picks it up, throws, and the runner is out. Nice play by Amanda Williams. She's a junior. Again, we talked about some of these players playing together. Amanda plays on Pride of the Midwest in the summer, and she's played with a couple of these players in the summer league, so they know each other. These players do know each other. This is Ashley Zadroyak batting, the catcher. Outside, ball 1. Ashley, one of the 3 senior co-captains on this team. Got a little bit nicked up last week catching. Took a couple and gave her a day off. She got hit 3 times in one game pretty hard, and if she asked for a day off, you know she was pretty beat up.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that would happen in fast-pitch softball.
We were behind here doing the loudspeaking on one of them, and the umpire saw she got hurt, and the umpire went out and kind of checked the ball, went and talked to the pitcher, gave her that extra minute and stuff. So, you know, the umps know what it's like to get hit back there. So 1-1's the count, 1 out. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Ashley Zadroyak. Nice job, Ashley, to get it going. And one of the other tri-captains coming up, Steph Cole, the center fielder. We got 1 out, man on first.
Good start for the Indians there. They want to get this game, they want to get it out of their way.
Well, again, after that extra hitting practice on Friday, and again, they needed it, and I speak from experience. I know they needed it, and hopefully it's going to show today in this game. And a strike high on the top of the zone. Steph, a 3-year starter on this team. Again, one of the tri-captains on this team, one of the senior leaders. Does a great job. She's going to be playing at lacrosse, if I'm correct, next year. Big hello to Ryan Anderson, our athletic director, is standing next to us. If we get a chance today, maybe we can get him on today. Realignment coming as well, folks. These two teams will be in the same conference 2 years from now. So this will be their last non-conference trip to the Falls, and then it'll be conference in 2 years. There's a dribbler. It's going to fall in the middle, and they get the force at second. Nice play on the defensive end. Good job. There's 2 outs now, and a cleanup hitter, Morgan Schiedemeyer, is coming up now for the Falls.
Yeah, it was important for Germantown to get that lead run around.
Yeah, that was one of those plays that you don't know where that ball's going to spin. You don't know what's going to happen. Here's Morgan, cleanup hitter. Strike on the outside, runner going, throw down to second, and Steph Cole beats it out, and that's a stolen base, and now we got a runner in scoring position. She is quick. She plays center fielder and has got good speed. And again, she's going to be playing at lacrosse next year. Morgan up with 1 strike on her. And they're going to call that one high, 1-1. 2 outs, runner on second. Game time temperature around 77 degrees. Sun is out now after a storm went through. And hopefully we're going to be able to get this one in. Again, the umpires, they're going to try to keep this thing playing. There's a drive to left field. If that falls in, that does fall in. And a run is going to score, and the Falls gets an early lead on an RBI bloop single by Morgan Schiedemeyer.
She caught the Germantown defense off guard there. The wind took it a little bit too.
And I think she may have caught that in the sun as well and was not able to judge that very well. But again, a nice bloop single there, and the Falls takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. This is Abby Frams. Another sophomore on the team, takes a strike down the middle, 0-1. Frams, who plays multiple positions, infield. She's our number 3 pitcher as well. She got some action on Friday against Waukesha North. Fouls it off into the trees. Look out, car! Oh, just missed.
That was my car too. I should move it, maybe.
Oops. Maybe between innings you ought to move that thing. I park like 3 blocks over, so, and my car isn't as nice as your car, so. All right, 0-2, 2 outs. Outside, just missed. Again, Megan Cull, the senior, pitching today for Germantown. Their number 1 normally is Michelle Moore. Michelle Moore, they got 4 seniors on this team that are going to be playing some college ball for Germantown. So again, a very experienced team. Ground ball down to third, and a foul ball is called. So we're going to reset again with a 1-2 count. So Troy, you've been keeping yourself busy?
Yeah, I've been, especially with basketball, and I had a chance to cover the Germantown boys and girls postseason, but unfortunately, neither one of them made the state.
2 and 2's the count. We could talk a little basketball in between innings as well. See what we see for the upcoming season coming up. 2-2 count, 2's across the board. Run in for the Falls, 1-0, bottom of the first. See if drive and more, and a nice play by Amanda Williams at second. No runs, 2 hits. I'm sorry, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. After 1 complete, Falls 1, Germantown 0. Troy's going to go move his car here. We do have some statistics here that we'll be able to fit into the game as well here, trying to get a little bit organized. Again, with the rain that went through, they had to tear down a bunch of the equipment and then reset up here, so we're kind of going on the fly here. But we've got some statistics for both teams that we'll try to interchange into here. Again, starting today for Menomonee Falls, Sierra Jones. She's the number 1 pitcher, junior. She's a 3-year player on the varsity. She played kind of a backup pitcher role, some infield, additional hitter her first year. Last year she was the number 1 backup pitcher. Now she's been thrust into the starting role, and she's done a nice job. Power pitcher. When she's on, she's tough to hit. and being looked at by some Division II schools here. This is Emily Duran, again one of the 4 seniors on this team for Germantown that have college offers that have already signed. One of the infielders, a veteran. She's again been on a team that's gone to state the last 3 years. Popped up on the infield. Let's see what happens here. And a nice play by the second baseman there. Make the play. I'm not saying anything about the shortstop because that's my daughter there. She's got to get out of it. She's got to get it. She's got to get out of the way on that. And she knows it too, and she'll hear it when she goes to the bench. You can bet on that. Another pop up on the infield. This one's Sierra Jones calling, and she makes the play for the second out of the inning. Getting a few sprinkles here, but I don't think these are going to last very long. Which brings up shortstop Morgan Brantley. She made a nice play in the first inning on defense. And again, a lot of these girls know each other from playing summer ball together. Several of them play for the Menomonee Falls Angels program. Some of these girls play for Pride of the Midwest, based out of Brookfield. So a lot of camaraderie throughout the summer with these 2 teams. A lot of players that play with each other in the summer. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball on the inside by Sierra. 1-1. 2 outs. Top of the second. Falls leading 1-0. Sierra looks and fires. Fly ball down the third base side, and a backhand play, an outstanding play by the Falls there. Cammie Stigler, the sophomore, makes a diving catch, crashing into the wall over there, and an outstanding play by Cammie Stigler, the sophomore and backup pitcher. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After an inning and a half, it is Menomonee Falls 1 and Germantown 0. Troy, you got your car moved?
Yeah, I'm about a block around the corner.
That's a good idea. We had a scout here, I think it was last year, scouting this game, and parked their car right behind the opposite tree and got a windshield smashed. Ball landed right on it, so that was probably a good idea that you moved. So you missed a great play by Cammie Stigler to end the inning. Outstanding play on defense here. So we're going to go into the bottom of the second here. Falls leading 1-0, and leading off is going to be another sophomore, Kenzie Petzel. And trying to grab some stats here while we can. Kenzie comes into the game hitting .292, 7 hits and 24 official at-bats, 7 RBIs as well. That's 4th on the team. 5th, actually. I'm sorry. This is 2 pages here. Petzel. First pitch is outside the ball. Again, Megan Cole for Germantown today. Big, strong lefty, a veteran. Seen her a lot in summer ball as well. She's a good pitcher. Swing and a miss. A lot of these teams, Troy, they don't have 2 pitchers. The Falls and Germantown are lucky that they have what they have. They've got depth at the pitching. You got a lot of teams that have trouble putting on a JV pitcher. Exactly. Curveball catches the outside corner, 1-2. That was a nice pitch. It had a nice little break in and caught the corner. Good call by the umpire behind the plate. Yes. 2-2, nobody out. Bottom of the second again. Falls 1, Germantown 0. Petzel, again a sophomore. They're getting their teeth cut this year. Fouls it off into the tree, bounces around. And a nice job by a little Garstecki girl over there. Kaylee's little sister makes the play on that one. Did a good job. Actually, it wasn't Kaylee's little sister, it was one of the other sisters. I think it was one of the Williams sisters, Amanda's little sister, that made the play over there. Nice job. 3-2, full count, nobody out. Petzel battling. Ground ball, first base, that's a base hit. Way to go with the pitch. She hustles down to first, beats it out. Brings up Gabby Feltman, the junior shortstop. Gabby played varsity last year. Comes in the game with a .333 average. 9 hits. 3 hits in 9 official trips. She has 4 walks for the season as well. Gabby known for her defense, trying to make it known for her offense. Swings and misses on the bunt on a high pitch. 0-1. That was a cold weather game, that one. It's a much different game today. About 50 degrees warmer. At least it seems like it. Gabby lays the bunt down. The play's going to be to first. A nice job by Germantown to get the out. A nice bunt, sacrifice for Gabby. Moves Petzel up to second with 1 out, which is going to bring up Sierra Jones. Sierra hitting .375. 9 hits and 24 at-bats with a home run. She hit a bomb at Sussex on Tuesday night. Cleared it by 25 feet. So let's see what Sierra can do with a runner in scoring position. Ground ball. Williams on the play. Nice throw to first. Williams is solid. She can play second or third or short if necessary for Germantown. She does a nice job. 2 outs, runner at third. There's Cammie Stigler. Stigler with a nice play to end that last inning. Real nice play there. Cammie acting like another leadoff hitter in the spot she's hitting at. Hitting in that 9th spot, tries to set the table for the leadoff hit. .238 so far. 8 runs scored so far this year for Cammie, so she does get on base. And when she gets on, good things happen. Ground ball, Williams again, scoops it up. That's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. After 2 complete, Menomonee Falls 1, Germantown nothing.
So far, it's a pretty good game. It'll be all right. What's fun, but you know, those big innings are coming.
Well, the wind is blowing out today, which is also a rarity so far this year. The wind has been pretty much off the lake all year, and it is blowing out. And Germantown's got good hitters. They're going to be at the bottom 3 of the order, and they're going to try to set the table for the top of the order. Again, Germantown 3-1 in conference. Grafton, very strong team this year, leading their conference. Homestead also 5-1. Germantown 3-1, trying to play a little catch up with some rain and snow out so far this year.
It's kind of hard though. You talk about bringing softball into fun. General weather doesn't always cooperate. You have to make up a whole bunch of days in a short period of time.
Yeah, you get one off the end of the bat on a cold weather day to day. Even with these bats that they have now, you feel it. And this is nice and comfortable for the players today. This is Maddie Yount, junior infielder for Germantown. First pitch, just a little bit high on that one. Head coach for Germantown is Kurt Raguzzi. Co-coach Drew Sumwalt. Kurt's been coaching for a lot of years. He coaches summer ball with Pride of the Midwest. Knows the game. He's a veteran. He knows the game. You coach against him, and you got a chess match. 3 straight state tournaments. That tells you something right there.
Yeah, definitely. How strong is the Falls youth program? Youth softball program?
The junior Indian, or the Falls Angels, has been continually supplying good players. And again, Pride of the Midwest, a couple of Falls players have played through there as well, coming up through the years that they've been supplying them. And then, of course, you've got Little League. in the biggest little league in the state of Wisconsin, which has a huge factor both on the baseball end and the softball end. 2-1 the count. Maddie Yount. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back, and it made me flinch.
Good thing the fence is right here.
Yep, that's a fine for flinching. I know. I'm getting looked at by the parents. Getting a lot of heat for that one. 2-2 the count. Nobody out. Top of the third. Falls leading 1-0. Here's Sierra Jones coming. Pitch. Fly ball to left. Getting a little boost from the wind. And a nice play in left field. And a good job there by Petzel for the first out. And that's going to bring up Ellie Decker, sophomore catcher. Youngest player on this team. They have 9 seniors on this team, Germantown. This is a very veteran team. That's a lot of seniors. The only team I've seen with more than that this year is Stevens Point. So that's a very veteran team.
And with the senior experience, they're looking for another trip to state.
Oh yes, absolutely. But Grafton better this year. They threw another one. Homestead always good. They'll deal with Brookfield Central with Crystal Sicard back at Brookfield Central. So that sectional is going to be tough this year, and they know it. And they're preparing for it. You know that Coach Raguzzi will have this team ready. 2-0 the count. Sierra fell behind on Decker. Again, Decker, the catcher, a sophomore. Here's the pitch. Ground ball in the hole, gets through the hole for a base hit for Decker. First hit of the ball game for Germantown, which will bring up the number 9 hitter, Sarah Richmond, a senior, lefty. And I'm assuming
Richmond did play basketball, and she was pretty good, but
a good athlete.
Yeah. All around.
We might see a slap here or a sacrifice of some time. With her being a left-hander here, you gotta assume maybe a slap here. With her nickname Richie on the back of her helmet. The senior up, looking, fakes the bunt, pulls it back, it's a ball low. And that causes the entire infield to move. Everybody's got to find their position, where they're covering and what they're doing. And the outfield's got to cover as well. Top of the order on deck for Germantown. Throwback, not in time. Umpire's right there on the call. There's a purpose throw, just to let them know.
Well, good. Keep them honest.
Lots of people bringing their dogs today. That's always a good thing. Always bring your dogs to a baseball or softball game. That's a good thing.
Free admission on top of that, too.
That's right. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. No cars. That one made the road, but it was clear. All cars are safe.
I used an aluminum bat on slow pitch softball in the fall league, and that thing bent in half. One of those composite bats, and it was a real cold night, too.
Yeah, you get below 35, and they tell you not to use them. Bunt is fouled back, so now it's 2-2. Now let's see what she does, if she goes into a slap mode or if it's just going to be a straight swing away here. It's a huge advantage with a left-hander being able to slap in girls' fast-pitch softball. It basically acts as protecting the plate, and if she can put it in play, she has a chance to beat it out. Ground ball, shortstop. Gabby Feltman with the flip, throws, gets it on a close play at second. Nice job by the Falls infield there. 2 down, and we get the top of the order.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Richmond try to steal, but I don't know if that might be pretty risky with 2 outs.
Well, you bring the top of the order back, so we'll see what Coach Raguzzi does here. Swing. Strike 1. Garstecki, the batter. Changing numbers here. They have her down as number 7, but she's actually number 11 here. Kaylee's a junior. Ground ball. Feltman knocks it down, holds onto it. No play. Didn't want the runners moving up, so keeps the runners at first and second with 2 outs. Brings up Amanda Williams, and Amanda Williams has power. She's got one of the hardest swings you are going to see out of a player. She does not get cheated. You do not want to make a mistake on her. Amanda Jr., former pitcher, now solid infielder, second, third, short. A good hitter too. Takes a strike down on the low end of the strike zone. And again, you do not want to make a mistake on her. She can hit the ball a long way. Here's the pitch by Sierra. Pop back, straight back, right behind it. She was on it.
Yeah, I saw that power swing, man.
She does not get cheated. Like I said, I've seen her play now. This is the 6th year I've seen her play, and she does not get cheated. She's got a very powerful swing.
Looks like she's going to work Sierra Jones here, huh?
Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. She's on it. When you foul it straight back, that's a good sign for the hitter. Remember Gorman Thomas always saying that when he played for the Brewers. If he fouled it straight back, that meant he's on it. It's when he was fouling it every other which way, then he wasn't. 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch from Jones. Line to center, hit well, and Steph Cole right there. That one's on the screws and hit well by Amanda, but right to Steph Cole to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. After 2.5, Menomonee Falls 1, Germantown nothing.
So it's important for Falls to try to get something going in this inning as well. 1-0 is not going to do it, especially on their bottom half of the 3rd inning.
Just seems like when these two teams get together, the defense comes out, you know, and every run is magic. You know, there's never a blowout in this matchup. You got a lot of 2-1, 2-0, 4-1 type games where every single run, you know, it's a cliche, every run counts. In this game, it truly does. If you get a runner on, you've got to take advantage of it.
Well, you mentioned the realignment. I didn't know both these schools were going to be in the same conference. That's going to bring out the best in all the sports.
As I said in the intro, this will be their last trip here as a non-conference. So the next time these guys play here will be 2 years from now. They'll be in the same conference. West Allis Central is leaving the conference, and you're picking up Germantown in this conference and Wauwatosa West. So you're going to have 9 teams in the conference, keeping Marquette, keeping DSHA. And this will be an added rival for Menomonee Falls. Top of the order here for the Falls. This is Lou Shortino. She likes to slap. She's quick. If she can get the ball on the left side of the infield, she's got a chance to beat it out. Shortino comes into the game hitting .391. There's a drive to center. That's going to fall down for a base hit. Now you've got some speed at first. Let's see if we see some small ball here out of Coach Lou Santacola in his 3rd year for the Falls. You got a veteran up here, one of the tri-captains, Ashley Zadroyak. Ashley going to be continuing her career as well next year in college. Let's see if we see a little small ball here. Bunt, right down in front. Good play, throw to first. Ooh, and a close play down at first. Ashley hustling down and a little bit of a slow throw there. But the umpire right there on the call, but the sacrifice works. So you've got a runner at second in scoring position, and Steph Cole, the batter. Again, one of the tri-captains. Steph coming in, hitting an even .400. No home runs yet for Steph this year. Now would be a good time.
Knock it out of the park.
She can do it. There's a strike. Fake to throw down to second. Shortino gets back. Cole looked at that one there. 0-1 the count. I know her dad and mom are here. They'd like to see her get a big hit here. They're playing deep. Look at how deep they are in center. They are respecting her power here. And a curveball catches the plate. That is a nice pitch she throws there. That thing breaks in right at the end and catches the corner. Now Cole down And it's a pitcher's pitch here now at 0-2. Popped up. That one's going to get out of play. I'm impressed with Megan Cull. She's doing a nice job on the mound. I like that pitch. She's doing a nice job. And again, we talk about the depth that both these teams have at pitcher. Megan's doing a nice job today. I really like the way she's throwing. Here's the 0-2 pitch coming. Pop straight back. And
oh, just about.
Almost got a car on the run. And we're keeping an eye to the skies. We had a storm go through beforehand, kind of watching to the southwest where these things are coming from. And so far, so good. We want to get this game in today.
And there are no lights here either.
Ground ball up the middle, runners going. Cole gets her at first, 2 down, which is going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Morgan Schiedermeyer. Schiedermeyer hitting .278. She's got 1 home run, 12 RBIs. Tied for the lead in RBIs on the club. Needs a 2-out hit here. Needs something to happen.
Sometimes a lot happens with 2 outs.
It's Morgan outside. That one didn't break in. Laid off of it. Morgan had a hot start and kind of cooled off. They're looking for her to get going again. Cleanup hitter. Plays right field for the Falls. Veteran. Ground ball, short. Nice play by Brantley. Throw to first in time. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. After 3 complete, Menomonee Falls 1, Germantown nothing. What does basketball look like coming up this year for the high schools in the area?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it was pretty good, I thought, for the area, Milwaukee area.
We had a couple of years of some good Division I recruits out of the Milwaukee area here. Is there anybody coming up that really stands out in the area that you can think of? Or
they've been talking about this Tyler Harrow guy from Whitnell. He's a sophomore, and there's been a lot of interest. There's been a lot of coaches coming to his games, and he's a good guard, and that's the immediate name that I can think of. There's a lot of other talent too, but most of the guys and gals, what they do is they play AAU ball because they're going to get exposure that way. They play tournaments, and hopefully some college coaches come out and watch them. And then they always have a big one up there at Homestead in the summer and the spring as well. So we'll just see what happens.
And hopefully the area Division I teams will get their pieces of those good players working. Ground ball fouled off. This is Carly Skada, junior. Number 10 outfielder, good hitter, good solid player, just good fundamental player all around. Right in the meat of the order here. This is a big time through now for Germantown to try to get back in this thing, trailing 1-0, top of the 4th inning. Skada against Jones and calls it high. He is not given a real high strike. That one was just at the letter high maybe, and he is not both ways. He's been consistent.
Well, that's what you want out of a home plate umpire.
That's exactly what you want. That one's high too. 2-1. You get some that call it high. Some, last week they had an umpire that it seemed like if it was an inch off the ground, it was a strike. So you better have your sandwich with you. 2-1, hitter's pitch here. Skada looking, Jones firing. There's a strike. 2-2 is the count, nobody out.
Yeah, the last time Zeta hit a fly ball out to the left fielder in the 1st inning.
Again, good play, and they're respecting the power. The outfield playing deep, especially in left. 3-2, full count here.
Now it's the hitter's pitch coming
Oh
up.
yeah, because the pitcher's got to throw a strike. You don't want to walk the leadoff hitter with your cleanup hitter, you know, a big power hitter on deck, and Emily Doran. She can hit the ball a long way. Ground ball foul. Saw Emily play this last summer, and she can smack the ball. She gets a hold of it too. She's a big power hitter. she will not get cheated either. There's a lot of weapons on this Germantown team. A lot of good hitters.
When you have those kind of hitters, it just makes the pitcher throw more balls and get that arm tight.
And a changeup by Sierra Jones. What a nice pitch there to get the first out. Recovered from down 2-1 and 3-2 to get a strikeout. That's a big strikeout to start the fourth inning. Which brings up power hitter Emily Doran, senior. Again, had a chance to see her this past summer, quite a few games this past summer, and she is a good hitter. Ball low. 1-0 is the count. We lost the sun here for a brief bit. Again, we had a delay before. They got it started on time, but they did have to clear the field. Ball 2. So Jones behind on Doran.
So is there time to panic or to warm up another pitcher at this point?
And not at this point. Sierra's your number 1. 2-1's the count. She obviously wanted to pitch today. Again, a big game tomorrow for the Falls with Brookfield Central. It's a huge game. You're going to face one of the better pitchers in this state. Fly ball deep. That's going way back and gone. A long home run for Emily Doran. She drove that fastball deep and out of here, and no doubt on that one. Gets a congratulations from Gabby Feltman at short. Again, those two played together this summer. And it's 1-1 as a big power blast by Doran to tie this one at 1.
Wish we could see the dimensions out there in center field.
It's 200 all the way around here, and that one was out clearly by 30 or 40 feet. That was all power, little bit of wind aided, but that was out on just about any day. So 1 out, a run in, which will bring up Michaela Buchholz, another senior outfielder for Germantown. Here's the pitch, inside. And again, a lot of these girls know each other. They're playing a lot of summer ball together on various teams, playing against each other. They see each other all summer long. Ball too low.
Now, when you're a pitcher and you give up a home run, how do you respond as a pitcher?
Well, you're mad at you. First of all, did you put the pitch in the spot? There's a strike, 2-1. That's the first thing. Did you put the pitch where you wanted to? If you didn't, then it's your fault, okay? If you put it where you wanted to and she hit it out of the park, you tip your hat to the batter. I mean, it's that simple. So she's just thinking, did I put the pitch where Ashley called it? And if she did, there's a fly ball to left. That ball's carrying left field, and a nice play by Petzel to get the second out of the inning. Nice job by the sophomore out there. You know, but that's what it's looked at. You know, and I know from last year with had a 3-year starter graduate for the Falls, she knew when she missed a pitch, and if she did, you know, it was point to yourself, and it was on me. Sierra knows if she missed it. If she did, if she hit her pitch, well, then you tip your hat to the batter. Fly ball by Brantley. That one's coming on. Diving catch, no. Popped out of the glove. Petzel did a good job. She was playing deep, came in hard, and made the dive, and the ball popped out. That's a base hit. So 2 outs, and Maddie Yunt is the batter. Brantley gets a hit, senior infielder, playing shortstop today for Germantown. Jones trying to bear down, get out of this inning. Runner going, here's the throw down the second, and a throw in time. A nice throw by Zadroic and a nice play by Feltman to complete the double play. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. After 3.5, Menomonee Falls won, Germantown won.
Yeah, that was a nice throw to second. Otherwise, it could have been a very bad inning for Menomonee Falls.
And again, every run in this game, these are always battles. These are 2 really good teams traditionally. They've got a nice rivalry for being non-conference opponents. 2 years ago, Germantown beat the Falls at state, you know, and Falls hasn't been back since then. And their goal always is to win conference and get to state. It's a very clear goals that they have. Again, Falls with a young team, Germantown with a veteran team. So let's see what happens here. Now that Germantown has tied this up, we're going to come around. We're in the middle of the order now for the Falls. I believe Abby Frams is going to lead off for the Falls, a sophomore.
Now the Falls had a different coach for softball a couple years ago. Right?
Yes, they had Hiding coach. He's now at Tosa West. He coached for 1 year. After Coach Wolf was off a year for maternity leave, he coached when my daughter was a senior. My daughter Elizabeth was a senior on the team, and they went to state that year. And then they followed it up the next year, which was 2 seasons ago, and they went back to state again, lost to Germantown in the first round. Last year they lost in sectional finals to Watertown, who eventually made it to the state championship and lost to powerhouse Westosha Central, who again is loaded. They are the team to beat, clearly the team to beat in the state this year, as they have the best player in the state who's going to, Kaylee Conwet, I believe is her last name. If I mispronounced it, I apologize. Going to Wisconsin next year, and she is really, really good. All right. So Fram's the batter here. Here's the pitch. Up the middle. Williams charges. Throw to first. Throws her off the bag. Wide throw. She's going to stay down there. That's going to be a throwing error on Amanda Williams there. She threw a little high and left. Rushed it a little bit. And she knows it. Amanda's a good player. She knows it. She'll shake it off and she'll come back and do it again. So Petzel the batter. Let's see if we're going to see some small ball here again. Kenzie, they're moving up at third, moving up a little at first, looking for the bunt. See if we see some small ball here. Not on the first pitch. Ball one outside. Looking down to the signs, Coach Luke Langer down at third, Jerry Adams coaching down at first, Haley Morfeld on the bench. Veteran Haley in her first year as an assistant. There's a strike on the outside corner. Cull likes to work that outside corner. She's been pretty consistent out there all day long. 1-1's the count. Runner on first. Nobody out. Pitch is low. 2-1. This is the batter count here. You can do anything you want here. If you want to hit and run, if you want to bunt, you can do a lot of things on 2-1. Fouled off.
Well, that tree and those branches have been stopping that ball, the momentum of the ball.
Yeah, if that tree ever goes, it's not going to be safe parking any cars over there, I can tell you that. 2-2, nobody out. Petzel the batter. Looking, here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike three, swing and a miss. One out, which will bring up Gabby Feltman, the shortstop. Feltman again coming into the game, 333. Had a sacrifice in the game earlier. Fouls it off. And I know from experience, Gabby is pumped up for this game. She likes playing Germantown and gets pumped up. Again, she knows a lot of the girls on the other team, plays with them, and wants to play well in this game. And the junior started last year after starting the year on JVs. There's the pitch high, 1-1.
You can imagine being a high school athlete and you have a game coming up later on and you got to go through the school day and you're thinking about it and it's in your mind. You want to do the best you can.
And take AP classes. Try to concentrate in class. High fastball, swing and a miss. 1-2.
What do you think that fastball is coming in at?
I would say probably mid to high 50s for her. I don't think it's real high. It's probably in that 56, 57 range. Sierra probably in the upper 50s. If their number one for Germantown was pitching, probably high 50s, near 60. But I would say probably in that 55, 56 range. You can tell it when they throw a good fastball, there's that pop. You can tell then they're hitting that high 50s. 1-2 yet. Feltman fouled it off. 1 out, runner on first. And Feltman asking for time, the umpire gives her time. Battle of the minds here. These guys know each other well. Here's the pitch. Inside, 2-2. Feltman battling. Down at first is Frams. 1 out. 2-2's the count. Game tied at 1, bottom of the 4th inning. Good battle going here, folks. Line drive, base hit for Feltman down the line. First and second, which brings up Sarah Jones. Sarah Jones, and we may have a pinch runner here. We're going to have Megan Jackson that's going to pinch hit for Feltman. Feltman inherited her speed from her dad.
Oh.
In other words,
so
does it look like
what did you?
Did I run the 110 hurdles? No.
Did you challenge her to a race? Did you let her beat you?
No, she doesn't. She can beat me. I can tell you that. Oh no, they're actually pinch running for. They're going to pinch run for Frams and not Feltman. They want the speed up in front here. And Jones, a good hitter. It's a good spot for Jones to help her cause here. Comes into the game hitting .375, 1 home run. And I know she would like to hit a clutch hit here. Outfield respecting her power. Deep in center, fairly deep in left. Jones would like to help her cause here. High fastball. Ball 1. Nice turnout today, considering the weather. Down the lines on both sides. Germantown brought a nice turnout here today. Ball 2. Definitely a hitter's count here. Got to be careful here.
Yeah, Sierra definitely don't want to hit into a double play, and she doesn't need to drive the ball that far just to get it out of the infield.
Megan's got to be careful here not to give her too fat a pitch here. Ooh, she was on it, fouled it straight back. She knew it too. She wanted that pitch. She was teeing off. That was a free swing basically there at 2-0. We got a car alarm going off in the back there.
So it's power against power right now. Power pitching, power hitting.
Yep, pitcher battle here. Again, this is a good game going right here, folks. Fouled it off, and it's 2-2. Megan fights back to get it to 2-2. 1 out. Jackson down at second. Feltman down at first. The runners, first and second. 1 out. Game tied at 1, bottom of the 4th. Now it's a battle here, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got her with a fastball. 2 down. And a big out for Germantown there, which brings up the number 9 hitter, Cammie Stigler. Stigler leads to come through here. Runners should be going on contact here with 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a big strikeout too.
That was after being down 2-0, battled back. Tip your hat to the pitcher there. Nice job by Megan. Low and outside. She wanted that one, wanted to get ahead on Stigler. Stigler, a sophomore, backup pitcher, plays infield. Done a nice job. The sophomores have had to grow this year, 6 of them, and they are. Stigler, ground ball the second, pops up. And he calls her safe. A tough hop on Williams. Popped up, she kept it in front, and a very close play. The bags are loaded for the top of the order. This is Lou Shortino. But a chance to give the Falls a lead here, the lefty. Infield playing up in case of the slap here. Outfield playing up as well. They're playing very shallow here. Shortino with a chance to give the Falls the lead. Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Shortino. Runner from third scoring. Feltman coming home to score. Here's the throw, and she scored. A 2-out, 2 RBI single by Lou Shorentino. And the Falls takes a 3-1 lead. A clutch hit right up the middle. You couldn't have asked for anything more. It's always a hit up the middle. And the Falls with a lead on a clutch hit by Lou Shortino.
Yeah, it came at about the right time, too. Most of the time, though, that hitter is not going to swing at the first pitch.
She went up there, they gave her the green light and drove it right up the middle. The infield was up, so there was no way they could make that play at all. And a clutch hit keeps the inning alive, which brings up Ashley Zadroyak, senior catcher. Ball in the dirt, runners are going to move up on a pass. Going to call that a wild pitch as that was in the dirt.
Looks like the screws are falling off Germantown, but this game is far from over.
Oh, yeah, this is they need to get out of this, and the Falls now has 2 ducks on the pond, second and third for Ashley. Ashley, 406 average coming into the game.
So do you take your daughter off ice cream?
Drive to left and deep. And a nice catch in the outfield to end the inning. 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left. 1 error, 1 error, 2 left. At the end of 4, 3-1 Menomonee Falls. You were asking me something?
I was asking you, are you going to take Gabby out for ice cream since she came in with a run?
Well, we missed chocolate chip at Cops yesterday, which is my all-time favorite flavor, but I've been on this massive diet. I've lost 38 pounds in the last 16 weeks, and I've got another 37 to go, so there's no ice cream in the diet for me. If she wants to, I will take her. If she earns it, I will take her for ice cream.
Well, she did earn it. She got a single up and went to second base.
Well, we won't let her sleep out with the squirrels tonight for that.
No reward for a reward?
And we'll see. We'll see. Well, the Falls with the lead now, 3-1 as we enter the top of the 5th. After Germantown had tied it in the top of the 4th on a home run, big home run by Emily Doran. Falls comes back and a clutch, 2-out, 2 RBI hit by Lou Shortino to give the Falls the lead. And we're in the meat of the order now for Germantown here.
So if there's threatening weather, would this be an official game? Let's say if it rains.
I believe 4.5 for an official game. So we got to get this half inning in, which right now it looks good. But they have to get this half inning in for it to be an official game. And again, the fact that it's non-conference, if there is any threat and it washes the field out, that's it. All right, top of the 5th inning here. Maddie Yount to lead off. Be followed by Ellie Decker, and then I believe it's the top of the order after that. So Yount, she's a junior, infielder. I believe she walked or got a hit the last time, if I'm correct. Ground ball down to third. Nice play by Stigler, throw to first, and Paulson with a nice play at first. Haven't mentioned Paulson yet. She does a solid job down at first base. One of the best defensive first basemen that I've seen in a long time. She did a great job last year and has been just as solid this year down at first.
Yeah, Maddie Yount flied out to left field last time up.
All right, so now we have Ellie Decker. Drive to center and deep. Steph Cole going back. It is gone. A home run for Ellie Decker, the sophomore. That one cleared the center field fence, and that cuts the lead in half to 3-2.
Well, they've seen Sierra enough throughout the course of the game there that the first time up, it might be the pitcher's advantage, but then once you see the pitcher again, second, third time up, you adjust, you make that adjustment.
Especially if you get to the 3rd time through the order. You're exactly right on that. That's tradition there, that you see that the 3rd time. So here's the number 9 hitter, Richmond, senior, left-hander. That home run cuts it to 3-2. Big blow by Ellie Decker to dead center, driven. And that was, again, not a cheated at bat in any means. And a strike on the outside corner. Sierra tries to bear down. 2 solo home runs for Germantown in this game. It's 3-2 Menomonee Falls, top of the 5th.
Now, is this something that the catcher have to call? I mean, when you see that hitter coming up the second and third time, to make those adjustments and calling different pitches?
The bench is calling the pitches. They have the where they went the last time. They've got their chart. You know, they got a little bit of a scouting report. These teams scrimmaged each other earlier in the year, and again, they know each other. These guys have played against each other for a long time. They scrimmaged back on March 22nd, and that was about the only game that was in for about 2 weeks because of the weather after that. But they scrimmaged up at Germantown. They usually do a scrimmage at the opposite place that they play during the regular season. 3-1.
I can't recall what the weather was like on March 22nd, but
it was about 45 and actually fairly pleasant. The field was soft up in Germantown, but playable. And they got the game in, and each team pitched their 3 pitchers. Did a lot of rotating and stuff. Swing and a miss. 3-2. So they were able to get their work done, and that was the idea behind the scrimmage. Both coaches pleased. They came out healthy, did some things, and got, instead of looking at each other inside for 2 weeks, they got a chance to play outside. After that, they weren't outside for 2 weeks because the field conditions would not warrant it. Ball 4. And Richmond draws the walk, so with 1 out, tying run at first, this is Garstecki, the batter. Kaylee Garstecki, junior. Good, solid player, plays outfield, multiple positions for Germantown. Quick, can bunt the ball. Might be a small ball situation here. We'll see. If they want to move her up, she can do it. Good contact hitter. Fly ball to center. That one, Cole coming on, makes the play for the second out of the inning. And Amanda Williams comes up again. Power hitter here. A lot of power in this lineup. 2 outs. Tying run at first, lead run at the plate, and Amanda Williams. And a second baseman, also shortstop, third baseman for Germantown. Played some as a freshman, played all last year as a sophomore. Fights it off, second base, and a play to end the inning. 1 run on 1 hit. There was a walk as well. No errors, 1 left. After 4.5, a complete game now, it's an official game. It's Menomonee Falls 3, Germantown 2.
I see some guys, I'm assuming that there's the Menomonee Falls boys baseball team in the background over the home run fence back there.
That's, actually, I'm not sure if that's the Lakers. That might be the Lakers over there practicing. Falls they can't practice yet. They do have, you know, their off-season workouts and stuff, but practice for boys doesn't start, I think, until like the 2nd week of May. But they support the girls team, and the girls support the boys teams, and the boys team with a lot of people coming back this year, defending state champions, and they're going to have that target on their back this year.
Must have felt good for the community here to have a state champion.
It was. You know, you've had a nice run. You've had volleyball winning state a couple of years ago. You had boys baseball. You had boys soccer with a runner-up 2 seasons ago. You've had numerous trips. You've had, you know, a non-sporting thing, but the business leaders, future business leaders, 3 straight state titles or 2? 3 straight state title holders for that. I mean, you got academics, you've got athletics here that are doing very well, and the same at Germantown. Germantown with their powerful basketball program, they've done well in softball, 3 straight trips. They do well in other sports as well. So, I mean, you talk about 2 good communities with good sporting and good academics. Drive to center field, coming on a center fielder, a 1-hopper, and a nice play. And Steph Cole, the 3rd hitter, gets a hit to lead off, which brings up the cleanup hitter, Morgan Schiedermeyer.
And you got both athletic directors back there, Ryan Anderson and Jack.
I'm sure they're sharing important stories about their athletic careers back there. And they soon will be in the same conference together again. We talked about that in 2 years. These 2 teams will be in the same conference. So 1 more year of non-conference, and then it will be conference battles in every sport.
Well, it's best that they get a friendly conversation going.
Oh yes, they've been known each other for quite a few years, and have a lot of non-conference activities between them. You've got shared teams. Some of the swim teams and gymnastics have been shared teams, so they've had a good working relationship, which is a positive for both communities. I love this rivalry, I really do. I come from Manitowoc, and Fond du Lac was our rival. You were 60 miles away, but it was a powerful rivalry. And then they left, and Manitowoc kind of lost the rival. They used to have two rivers, but they were a smaller team, so you didn't have that. So to have this close with Sussex and Germantown, that one gets away. Cole's going to move up. She rounds it at second and looks. Now you've got a runner in scoring position. 3-1 the count. And Falls looking to get that run back from the top of the inning. That's a big run out there right now in the bottom of the fifth. 3-2 Falls leading, bottom of the fifth, nobody out, runner on second.
And this will be an insurance run if Cheatham can knock it in. Last time up, she grounded out to the shortstop.
And she'd like to get that runner home. Schiedermeyer, senior, one of the three captains. They all bat 2, 3, and 4, the tri-captains. Drive, base hit over to shortstop's head. Cole had to hold up. They're going to send her. There's going to be a play at the plate. They cut it off, throw to second, not in time. Thought there might be a plate at home. She cut it off. Cole scores on the RBI single. Moving up to second on the play is Schiedermeyer, and a big RBI there, making it 4-2 Menomonee Falls. Still nobody out. And Jackson, Megan Jackson, another one of the sophomores, she's going to get an at-bat. She came in the game for Frams. Her first at-bat, Jackson. Ball outside. Jackson hitting an even .500, 4 for 8 on the season. Usually a designated runner in a lot of cases for the Falls. Plays some infield for them as well. Gaining experience. Understands her role, and that's key on a team. Doesn't matter what the sport is.
Yeah, everybody can't be the star. Sometimes that really, makes it hard when you're in youth athletics and high school athletics.
They're used to being the power, and in this case, you lost 3 4-year starters, a 3-year starter, and a key backup. You lost 5 very experienced players in this team, and that's where they came in here, again, being a young, inexperienced team, and they are cutting their teeth, these youngsters. Down the right field line, that may drop. That's a fair ball. That's a base hit for Jackson. Schiedermeyer moves up, and it's first and third, nobody out, and Petzel, the batter.
This will
and
be
we're in a timeout.
Could be a pitching change, or it's just going over.
Let's see. We got Coach Raguzzi coming out here. 4-2, run in, nobody out. First and third, bottom of the fifth inning here. Again, looking back here, seeing both the athletic directors talking here. Again, it's good to see both, and I know that Ryan goes to a lot of the road games when he can. If there's nothing going on at home, then he does try to follow the road teams where he can. And again, can you imagine how many hours the athletic directors put in for both schools?
Yeah. And that's it for their starting pitcher.
And we are going to get their number 1 now, Michelle Moore, who will be pitching. I really would like to find out where's Michelle going for next year? Cardinal Stritch, she's going to be pitching. She's their number 1 pitcher. I remember Michelle back when she was a 12-year-old, and she could throw the ball pretty well as a 12-year-old the first time I ever saw her. She is a good pitcher. She can bring it. You're going to see the difference in speed here. She's probably hitting that upper 50s, near 60. She can bring it, and that big, long reach that she's got. So the players on the Falls are going to have to adjust now to a much faster pitcher.
Megan Cole did a good job up until the fourth inning when she got hit for 2 runs, and then you got one here in the 5th.
She was solid. She was clicking on the outside corner, and then all of a sudden she wasn't hitting the outside corner. She was out there, wasn't getting it, and then had to come across the plate. And that's when, again, the second time through, we talked about that second and third time through the order, you start seeing, and getting used to it. So now you're going to have, again, they're sitting there, all the players are watching right now. And Moore is good. She is solid. You don't pitch in college if you are not a good player, and she's going to be pitching again at Cardinal Stretch. So Petzel's going to get the first crack at Moore. See what we're going to do here, if there's going to be any movement here. You've got Jackson, who's got decent speed down at first, nobody out. See if a play is called here, and I'm sure that Germantown, when they made the pitching change, also called their defensive play here. Coach Raguzzi, again, chess match with him. You have your hands full as a coach, because he is good. Moore and Petzel, nobody out, first and third. A run in for the Falls, 4-2. Moore looks, gets the count. Here's the windup, inside. Runner goes, safe. Schiedermeyer gets back on the throw down to third, so the play was to throw to third. That was the play that was called. Jackson moves up, so you have second and third, nobody out now. Infield, they're going to try to cut the runner down at home here. Likely runner will not go on contact here at third. It's got to be, if it's at the corners, they will not go home. Moore, 1-0, the pitch. And a strike on the inside corner, and let me tell you, that would be a tough pitch to hit. I don't care who you are on that one. That is going to be, if she gets that pitch on the inside, it's going to be tough to hit. Saw your hands off. Moore, tall, long arms. Here's the windup and the pitch. Inside again, gets past it. Runner's trying to score. Schiedermeyer scores, slides in on the wild pitch. Another run for the Falls makes it 5-2. And Jackson moves down to third on the wild pitch, makes it 5-2. Still nobody out. Coach Langer goes out and talks to Jackson here, gives her some instructions.
Yeah, I feel raindrops.
And I just felt a drop as well here. A couple of drops coming down. Gonna cover up my sheets here. Hopefully I won't melt. 2-2 is the count now. Get some drops here again. Nothing that's going to stop play, at least at this point in time. 5-2. Fouled off. Look out. Everybody okay down on the Germantown side there. Everybody heads up. They know to be heads up down there. Two balls, 2 strikes. Again, nobody out. Getting a few raindrops here right now. Again, nobody out on the... Here's Moore with the pitch. High outside, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runs in, nobody out. Jackson, the runner, down at third. Moore, again, she'll be pitching next year at Cardinal Stretch. Sets, looks, here's the windup, the pitch. Ground ball to the second base side, runner coming home. They're going to take the out at first, so an RBI for Petzel on the ground out. It does count as an at-bat, but it gets an RBI, making the score 6-2, so that's 3 in now for the Falls, and Gabby Feltman will be your batter. Feltman and Moore, they were teammates back again, U12 team many years ago, so they know each other as well. Moore looks in. Wind up in the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Williams with a nice play. Throw to first. And a nice 4-3 put out by Amanda Williams for the second out of the inning. And we may have a substitution here. We are. We're going to get Elena Beck is going to bat here. Beck, infielder for the Falls, junior, number 35, first year on varsity. Plays some third base for the Falls. Has some power. We're going to see Beck get a chance. We're going to have power versus power here.
Yeah, I like to see this myself.
Beck plays for Falls Angels in the summer, as do many of the girls on the Falls team here. Rain picking up a little bit here. Bigger drops coming down right now. Definitely picking up here. Swing and a miss. Hopefully this isn't going to last and make the field unplayable.
I'll get him.
Got another base hit by Beck. Just barely beating out the throw at first base. Single there for Elena Beck for the Falls.
All right, we got an umbrella here at least to cover the monitor, so we still are going to keep going here.
What?
Apologize for the delay there.
Means the show's got to go on, huh?
And Beck with a base hit. So 2 outs, runner on first. 6-2 Menomonee Falls, 3 in here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Moore trying to shut it down here. Stigler with a drive down the line, fair ball down the line. Cutting it off is Garstecki. Throw, not in time at third. So a double for Stigler down the line. And it's second and third, 2 outs. And Lou Shortino, who had the big clutch 2 RBI hit the last inning, 2-out, 2 RBI hit to give the Falls the lead, is the batter.
So I guess
Sophomore.
when it rains, it pours. Weather-wise and also runs-wise for the Falls.
And Moore asked for a dry ball, which very normal in this situation. Umpires, they want the pitchers to have a dry ball and have every chance to throw what they want to throw here. And it appears for the moment that it may have stopped. Brief shower here. No thunder or lightning, so we're still good. Again, there was a pretty good storm that went through briefly about 45 minutes before game time and did not wash out the field. It's wet, but it is not puddled or muddy. And Beck's going to hold up, and probably with good reason there. Moore was there covering. 6-2, 2 outs, bottom of 5.
So when the field gets a little wet during the course of the game, does it make it kind of muddy, or is it hard to run on?
Right now, this field drains. This is a pretty sandy field, drains pretty well. Although you wouldn't have known that to fouls it off. You wouldn't have known that 2.5 weeks ago when this field was just water. But the field crew here at the high school's done a good job. Right now, you know, the bases will be slippery. You got to be careful on the bases. The mound will be a little slippery, but in general, right now, they've all got spikes. They're fine out there playing in this. It's not unplayable by any means. 2-1's to count. Drive to left field, a base hit by Shortino in the gap. 2 runs are going to score. That's 4 RBIs for Shortino, and the Falls with a big inning here. That's 5 in, and it's 8-2 Menomonee Falls. And Lou Shortino right now with 4 big RBIs, 2 2-out clutch hits. And she has done some serious damage in this game for Menomonee Falls. Right now, the star of the game right now.
And she's only a sophomore too.
Correct. Again, that left-handed slap style. And she does a nice job in the leadoff spot and with a couple of big RBIs. And that's what the Falls has been missing lately. Moore to Ashley Zadroyak, the catcher. Senior versus senior here. A couple of 3-year veterans here on the team. Both have played varsity a long time. They know each other.
You know, Ichiro Suzuki is known for slapping the ball. Also, we had Nori Aoki, right?
Yep, that's right. Going to put the umbrella down here as we appear to be clear here. That's a fair ball. Throw down to third from first. Nice play by the third baseman to end the inning. I may have to pick the umbrella back up briefly to cover the thing. 5 runs on multiple hits. I lost track of the hits there. I think there was 1 error in the inning and 1 left. After 5 complete, Menomonee Falls 8, Germantown 2.
Yeah, there were 5 hits in that inning
No.
for the Falls, with Stephanie Cole getting on with the single, and then she scored. Then you had a double by Schiedermeyer, and she got an RBI on that one, followed by a single and a run by Megan Jackson. And the runs just kept pouring for Menomonee Falls.
And we're getting another
ended with 2
shower
RBIs by Lou Sortino.
Shortino with 4 RBIs, 2 2-out clutch hits for Shortino. 4 RBIs in this game. It's 8-2. Again, the rain has picked up here. I don't think this is going to last real long here.
Now, would you say that if the rain just kept falling down, that Germantown would have its last at-bats?
No. If they were to call the game right now, no. But again, we don't see thunder and lightning, so that's good. It's not raining that hard right now.
We have the 2 decision makers right behind us. I don't know if they're in charge of calling
the umpire. The umpires their job is to protect the players. Rain, they play until the field's clear.
We're talking about the athletic directors.
Oh, they're busy talking about their athletic careers.
Oh, okay.
Got a smile from Germantown's AD on that.
And also saves, well, with them being in conference, it does cut down on the travel expense.
Yeah, again, so 2 years from now, yes. They know each other very well. A lot of non-conference battles between these 2 schools.
Yeah, they don't need to rent a bus. Just have everybody carpool to get renting the bus.
Exactly. Well, that's what DSHA does. All right, so we are back here, top of the 6th. Got to flip my wet lineup over here. Carly Skada batting for Germantown, and Germantown needs to rally here. They got to get some base runners, and they need them badly. Power hitter on deck is Emily Duran. She had a home run 2 innings ago. Top of the 6th, 8-2 Falls. And that one got away from Sierra a little bit. She overthrew a little bit, 2-0. Nobody out, 8-2 Falls, top of the 6th inning. A little bit low, 3-0. And Ashley Zadroik's going to go out and talk to Sierra there and settle her down a little bit.
We got some action over there beyond left field, like beyond the left field foul line. I'm not sure what they're doing over there.
Those are the Marines. Seriously, those are the Marines. They have been working out here regularly in the afternoons and on the weekends. When I walk my dog Sophie, which I live about 5 or 6 blocks from here, I see them. Those are Marine recruits that are working out down there. There's a strike. Took a little bit off that pitch, a little bit of an off-speed pitch. Threw it for a strike at 3-0. Germantown taking in that situation. They need base runners, and they were taking there. Strike 2 on the outside corner, 3-2. So from a 3-0 count, now 3-2. Here's the battle. Carly Skada battling against Sierra Jones, both juniors. They'll see each other next year as well. Here's the pitch. Popped up. That one's going to get out of play on the road.
Oh, my gosh.
Missed a gray car going by.
That car was about 10 yards away, man.
That would have put a serious dent or worse if it would have hit the windshield. I think we're clear now. The umbrella is going down here. We appear to be clear, and ball 4. And Skada gets a walk and gets on base for Emily Dorn. And Dorn blasted one the last time up to dead center. That was a no-doubt home run. She got every bit of it. Power hitter. Plays infield for Germantown. Senior. Here's the pitch. And a change up there for a strike. 0-1 on the count.
You have to come with something this time different, especially since she hit a home run off.
Yeah, she threw the change up. Now it's a guessing chest battle. Inside, jammed her. Swing and a foul, so it's 0-2, so it's advantage Sierra this time right now. So it's a pitcher's pitch. She can throw what she wants to. Ashley looks over to the bench. What they're calling. Ashley signals to Sierra. Looks like it's going to be outside. Fouled down on the plate. Sarah making the play. Throw to first. In time. Nice job by Paulson over at first. They get the runner. Richmond advances. I'm sorry, Skate advances the second with 1 out, which brings up number 3. Michaela Buchholz is the batter. She goes by Mickey, senior outfielder. 1 out, runner at second. Germantown trying to get back in this game, trailing 8-2. There's a strike by Sierra Jones. A couple of reminders coming up so I don't forget. We got the golf outing the last Friday in July. That's going to be at Silver Spring Golf Course. So the Germantown folks, you're welcome to attend too. Fly ball on the infield. Allie Paulson making the call, makes the call, and is out. And I'm not sure if that would have been called interference or not had she dropped it. I think the umpire was thinking about that on a potential interference call on the runner. But Paulson made the play for the second out. And that brings up Brantley. Brantley got a hit the last time up. Senior shortstop. Good ball player, fast player. That one's low. Good solid player. Good hitter, good fielder, runs the bases well. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. About a 6-hopper, throw to first, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits. There was a walk, 1 left. After 5.5, Menomonee Falls 8, Germantown 2.
We got a lot of games coming up on Falls Cable Access channel.
Yeah, why don't you go through them?
Got softball at Brookfield Central here tomorrow, 4:00 p.m. Softball at Brookfield East, that's on May 3rd, and also May 5th against Tulsa East. There's a softball game here. May 8th, we have Lakers baseball, the first one against Monches at 1:00. Then you have the boys track invite. That's here, I believe, right?
Yep.
At 4:00. And May 11th, the next day, is the girls track invite. May 12th and 13th, soccer. Homestead comes in at 7:00, and then the next day is Pius. And you have Lakers baseball again, at least one more time in May. Baseball starts May 23rd, Sussex Hamilton, first game at 5:30. And they also play Marquette at 5:30 on May 31st, as well as Kettle Moraine June 4th. And there are 2 games, June 6th, June 7th, that we'll be doing. June 6th against Oak Creek, June 7th against West Dallas Central, June 10th, Wauwatosa East, June 16th, West Dallas Hill, June 20th, Franklin. And then...
Did you expect everybody to write all that down?
Well, they can listen to it over and over. If they don't have cable, they can always go online.
That's right, just rewind that. Exactly. So
go online and Falls Cable Access. We got that covered, and the Lakers close out the month of June against Lannon.
It's nice to have the Lakers back this year. I'm looking forward. I'm going to be doing some games in July. I'm looking forward to that, and it's good to have that. So, folks, basically what we're saying is, you know, if you make a trip around the high school or over to Trenery Field for baseball, you pretty much, there's something going on at all times. You know, if you're not watching on cable, come on over to the high school. You know, support the athletics, support the teams. These are good kids that play for these schools. You know, and they're out there busting their back ends. Let's get out there and support all the schools in the area. High school sports are a good thing. It's keeping kids active. So, we got Steph Cole leading off here against Moore. Inside and low. That one got away from Moore. Bottom of the 6th inning, 8-2 Menomonee Falls. Put up a 2-spot in the 4th to take the lead and a 5-spot in the 5th to bust it open. And they're looking for some insurance right now. Steph Cole, center fielder, senior tri-captain. Pitch, that one's low too. 2-0.
Yeah, Moore has the speed, but it's the location of her pitches that are...
And a lot of times with pitchers, you know, the first couple innings they pitch, you can be a little spotty. And then things, they settle in and stuff, and she missed again inside, 3-0. And, you know, that happens. And she came in relief the last inning, and she's a little off right now. This is not the her best effort right now. She's having a little location problems here. 3-0. Cole looking for something really good to hit. That's ball 4, and Cole drives a 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning. Schiedermeyer in the batter. We're going to have a pinch hitter after that. Actually, we're going to have a flex. So Allie Paulson's going to get a swing after that.
Moore may just have to slow down the speed of her pitches.
Throw a strike and find the plate. Schiedermeyer outside and high. Here's the JV team has just joined us here from Germantown. If we can get a result of that JV game, that would be, looks like Germantown was a victor in the game. We don't have a score in the JV game. The Germantown players have just arrived.
Well, at least they get a good look at what to expect.
Is that correct? 16-0 Germantown in the JV game. So
at least they get a good look at what is like in a varsity game.
I got athletic directors telling me how to do my job. I couldn't resist that. That was just waiting there to be had. So.
Yeah, remember they're in the Falls too. Huh?
That's right.
You're on home territory.
That's right. So 2-1 to count. Schiedermeyer looking for a good pitch. Fouls it off. 2-2. That one went off her foot. That one had a sting a little bit. The good news is that one was today where it's 75 degrees. Tomorrow we're going to be here and it's going to be about 45. That one really would have stung tomorrow. 2-2. Nobody out. Runner on first. That's Cole. Moore pitching. Schiedermeyer the batter. Two seniors going at each other here. Pitch. Drive to left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit for Schiedermeyer. Fought off a changeup. And it's 2 on, nobody out. And Allie Paulson is going to get a bat. Her first at bat of the game. Allie, who plays first base in the flex position today. Comes into the game 167 right now. 4 runs scored. Paulson, a solid defensive first baseman. Going to get an at bat here. Okay.
It's a good chance that if she's up at bat here, that she'll also play out there.
Well, she plays defense first, and so in a flex position here. And
can you explain to me what that is? Because I've never heard that before.
In softball, you play in the field and don't bat. So it's kind of like you have additional. It's kind of like in baseball, you have the DH. There's a strike, a DH in baseball for the pitcher. You have an AH, additional hitter, for somebody in the field. So, for example, for the Falls, in a lot of cases, Allie's one of them. My daughter, Gabby Feltman, is one of them that'll get AH'd for. It depends on the situation. It's a chance to get a hitter in off the bench that's a good hitter, to help your lineup is what you do. So it's playing 10 players is what it's doing. So in the flex, she hasn't batted. She's been playing the field. Now she's going to get an at bat. And that's fouled off. Look out! Oh, and the tree saved a Chevy over there, I can tell you that. A tree saved that car because that one was going to land on hard. 1-2 now to Paulson. These two have seen each other before as well. Paulson's faced Moore. Moore with the pitch. Inside, 2-2. So we got first and third. First and second, nobody out. Ball's up 8-2, bottom of the 6th. We've been lucky so far getting this one in. There's been some storms that have missed us to each side of us here. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Long throw by Brantley. Pulls her off the bag. Safe at home call. We're looking to the umpire. It appears that the runner is safe as the first baseman was pulled off by a long throw by Brantley. Checking to see if Brantley's okay there. She's kind of flexing her hand there. That was a long throw where she was going away with her body. That's a good place to get hurt on that. We're going to have another pinch hitter here for the Falls. Jasmine Cernica is going to bat. Jasmine Cernica.
Good day for Allie Paulson to get a base hit there.
Yep.
Especially when you mention her average.
She hustled it out, drove in a run. So it's first and second, nobody out, and Jasmine going to get a hit here, a chance to bat here. Swing and a miss. Moore reared back there and fired. That ball had some movement on it. Nice pitch by Moore.
Now, when you're a team like Germantown, you're down big. How do they bounce back from that?
They will, because that's how good of a coach they have. Down the line, fair ball, down the line. That's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run in. They're going to hold Paulson at third, hold the runner at second. An RBI for Jasmine, and it's 10-2 Falls. And Gabby Feltman, the batter, with a chance to end this game. If they get 2, the ball game is over. 10-run rule. And Feltman, the batter. Nobody out. Winning run is at second base for the 10-run rule. It's 10-2 Falls. Feltman versus Moore. Slightly high on that pitch. Feltman plays for Coach Raguzzi in the summer. They play in Pride of the Midwest, and the umpires are going to talk, and we're going to see if we're going to get a delay here.
Yeah, I hear rumbles of thunder.
We might get a delay here. It's off to the northwest is where it is. Rules are?
It means it's over 40 right now. This light with a flash was between
Okay.
20 and 40.
Okay, so they've got a lightning detector here. They're going to go talk to the coaches here. Coach Raguzzi coming out, Coach Lou Santacola.
They say might as well just
Germantown athletic director here.
Yeah, might as well just say call it a game though. Live to fight another day.
That's my daughter, just so you know. So Jack, athletic director from Germantown, standing next to me here, and he's got the lightning detector here, and we're standing here and we're waiting, and the umpires are talking.
First time I've seen that, John.
If I hold my 1 iron up, not even. Okay.
That's the first time I've seen that.
That is going to be the ball game. They're going to call the game here right now, and that's going to be the ball game. They're going to clear the field, and they are calling the game. The final score, Menomonee Falls 10, Germantown 2, and they are going to call this game. Keep the players safe. Good call by the officials here. Umpires looking out for what's right. Again, a non-conference game, and this one is this history. So Falls with a victory here. Big game tomorrow against Brookfield Central, you know, and it was a good win.
Way
Troy?
to start the week off for the Falls, and they needed that victory because they have some good teams coming in
They
here.
are going to see 3 of the top 4 pitchers in state the next 4 games. It's going to be a cold one tomorrow. You're going to see Crystal Sicard from Brookfield Central. She got hurt last year, is back as a senior, and it's going to be a good one. So Falls Cable Access will be here tomorrow for that game, and I'll be back on my loudspeaker duties for the Falls tomorrow. So Troy, it's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure working with you today. Look forward to working with you again. And again, the final score is Menomonee Falls 10, Germantown 2. And speaking for my color announcer, Troy Sparks, and our crew, we want to go through who our crew is today real quickly.
Well, we got Jackie Cole and also John C. I'm not sure. He didn't give me his last name, but
Okay.
2 people here who brought you lots of good action, especially on the Falls Cable Access channel. And
Harry doing a nice job as director. So
Oh, yeah,
again,
definitely.
Thank you to our crew. Thanks to Troy. And speaking for Falls Cable Access, this is John Feltman saying thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. So long, everybody. This has been a Falls Cable Access Sports.